Hi everyone, I'm Jan Diatri, and if you want to make a positive step toward a healthier lifestyle, your garden is a great place to start. This can offer you just about everything you need for clean and healthy eating, and delicious too. And with grocery prices skyrocketing, especially organic, your Victory Garden is going to help you achieve victory on your weight loss journey. And that's the Red Mountain way. So it's planting season here in the Southwest. Spring gardening starts right after the first frost in late February and March, and fall planting happens around October. And just take a look at what you can grow in a pretty small space. Vegetables like lettuce and tomatoes, chilies, cucumbers, celery, broccoli, cauliflower, fennel, and bell peppers. Herbs love spring, and here I have basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, parsley, cilantro, and sage. And for fruits, I planted strawberries and Meyer lemon, lime, and grapefruit trees. So what do you say we gather up some goodness and make some delicious and healthy dishes together? I've plucked some pretty beautiful herbs, and I want these herbs to last. So here's my favorite tip, is I'm gonna create a greenhouse with these herbs in my own refrigerator. And the way to do that is to put them in a container with some water and cover it with a Ziploc bag. Do you see the condensation here? That's creating a greenhouse effect. And guess what? These herbs will last for weeks and weeks and weeks in the refrigerator. So with everything that I've picked, I thought we could make 4 dishes today. A beautiful shrimp dish, a low-carb pasta, a gorgeous fresh salad, and a lemony herb-laden asparagus side. All right, let's start with the shrimp. So this is a shrimp skillet dish with mint and cilantro, Italian parsley, a little garlic, and some lemon juice, salt, and pepper. It's that easy, and it's so good for you. And I want to give you a tip on garlic. It takes 1 clove of garlic, and when you get your garlic home, sometimes you'll see this little stem coming out. That's not good. That means that your garlic is old, and it's going to impart a real bitter flavor to your dish. So what you want to do is slice it open and pull out that stem, throw it away, and you're good to go. All right, it all happens over at the skillet. In a skillet over medium-high heat, I'm gonna add the lemon juice and then 1 minced clove of garlic. Ooh, it smells good already. Now I'm gonna add the shrimp. And we don't wanna overcook the shrimp just until it's pink, and so that's gonna be a couple minutes on each side. But now I'm going to add the goodness. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro, 1 tablespoon of fresh mint, and 1 tablespoon of Italian parsley. Now parsley, believe it or not, it's chock full of vitamin C, it's got iron, and it contains one of the best antioxidants your body needs. And cilantro, oh my goodness, 4 calories a cup, and it's loaded with calcium and potassium and a good source of heart-healthy oxidants. And mint, wow, mint, little known fact about mint is it stimulates the digestive system and it boosts your metabolism, so that's really great for weight loss. Now I don't want to burn the garlic, so I'm going to add a little bit more water or lemon juice or a mixture if you don't want it too citrusy. And these are just about done. I can smell the garlic, those fresh herbs from the garden, the cilantro, the mint, the parsley. Wow, what a great combination. Let me give it a little simmer, and then that is ready to eat. And that looks wonderful. All those fresh herbs right from your garden, beautiful lemon from your lemon tree. And then I'm going to take some of that liquid, pour that right on top. Does that look good? Now I'm going to garnish it with just a little bit of lemon and some of my fresh parsley. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. This next dish is a low-carb pasta, and for the pasta, I'm using miracle noodles, which is indeed a miracle. This entire packet is 10 calories. It's made from an ancient yam, and it's really, really good for you. You can get them fettuccine style, angel hair, you can get them spinach, all sorts of varieties. What you want to do is rinse those noodles off, let them drain and set them aside. For the sauce, I wanted a really healthy Italian sauce with herbs from the garden. So what I did is I took some baby Roma tomatoes, no salt added, organic, and some Walden Farms Italian sun-dried tomato vinaigrette. And I just pureed the tomatoes. So this is my favorite kitchen gadget right now. This is a Kuhn. Chefin makes the same thing. It's a manual, hand-powered mini prep, which I love. So I just took the tomatoes, put them right in there, added a little bit of the Walden Farms dressing just to give it that Italian flavor. And then watch this. I'm just going to give it a zing. And I've got tomato sauce that's going to go on the stove. I'll add a little bit of garlic and a little bit of basil and maybe some rosemary and oregano, and that is going to be delicious. So the pasta dish is very simple. It just takes tomatoes, some garlic, some herbs, and it all happens over here. So I'm going to put my tomato sauce in a pot. I'm going to kind of simmer it on medium-high, and I'm going to add some goodies to it. I'm going to add, of course, a little bit of garlic. Garlic, the ultimate superfood, right? You know, garlic boosts your immune system, and it works as an anti-inflammatory. It improves heart health, and if you ask my Italian grandma, well, she's going to tell you it wards off cold and flu, and vampires, of course. All right, I'm also going to add a little bit of basil because I want this to be a real Italian meal. Basil helps the body fight off stress. It's also an anti-inflammatory, and it's an important part of, you know, of course, the Mediterranean diet, right? And then let's see, what else can I add? I think I'll add just a little bit of oregano because I've got that going in my garden, and oregano is just, you don't need a lot, but it's going to really add some flavor to it. And maybe I'll just add a teeny tiny bit of rosemary since I plucked that from the garden as well. Rosemary's super high in manganese, and that's important for metabolic health. It's got powerful antioxidants that can help reduce the risk of cancer. How about that? All of that in one pot. So we'll let that simmer, and let's get going on the miracle noodles. All right, I've got a hot skillet going. I'm going to add some water, and then I'm going to just put those miracle noodles right on top. Now, these are not going to take long to cook, just a couple of minutes. You're going to see that they're going to go from opaque to pretty translucent, and when that happens, they're done. And you know what I love about miracle noodles is they're so filling. I mean, 10 calories for the entire pack. I think they actually might expand in your stomach because, boy, once you have a bowl of miracle noodles, you're done. You are full, you are satisfied. So I'm just going to let those cook for a few minutes. All right, those are looking mighty good. Now I want to add 8 cherry tomatoes, and you saw the tomatoes from my garden and how I plucked those. I actually couldn't stop eating those. They were like candy. And I've got a little bit of basil from the garden, of course. Basil grows like weed here in Arizona in the Southwest. And of course you got to have more garlic, keep those vampires away while you're having your pasta dish, right? All right, I'm just going to give this a quick stir. The tomatoes are so sweet. I don't want to overcook them. And now I'm just going to turn this off, and I'm going to pour that beautiful fresh sauce right on the noodles. Give it a toss. And we'll just cook the liquid off just a little bit. I think if my grandma, if my Nonna was on a diet, she would love this dish. Of course, grandmothers are never on diets, are they? And there you have it, a beautiful garlic herb pasta with 10-calorie miracle noodles. How about that? Look at that. That is a hearty meal. Fresh from the garden, the tomatoes, the basil, even the garlic. And then I wanted to top it with a little cheese flavor, so I'm just gonna give a little sprinkling of nutritional yeast. It's so good for you and it tastes like cheese, so that's just gonna add a little extra touch. And there you have it. Let's see, let's garnish it with a little oregano and maybe a little bit of basil there. Beautiful. Next up, a beautiful garden salad from garden to table. And boy, does my garden just offer so much for this salad. So I'm using, you saw me pluck some regular green lettuce and also some red lettuce, and that's going to be my base. Also, I've got arugula growing. Now, let me tell you a little bit about arugula. It is pretty amazing. The health benefits of arugula include weight loss, reduced risk of cancer, they help healthy bones, they improve eyesight. It has an antioxidant property that's good for the skin, which is always great, and it also helps strengthening your brain, and it improves metabolic functions, mineral absorption, and it boosts the immune system. So arugula is going to be fantastic for this salad. The other things that I have going are these gorgeous little Persian cucumbers that grow really well in the gardens here in the Southwest. What I like about these is you don't have to peel them. The skin is so tender and delicious. And then I'm going to add a few little tomatoes from my garden, the ones that I didn't eat yet. Also, I'm going to add rosemary, just a teeny tiny bit, and sage, again, just a little bit. A little goes a long way with flavors like this. And then I'm going to add some basil too. I'm going to show you how to chop the basil, but I want to talk about these flowers first. Edible flowers add so much pizzazz to a garden salad. But there's two things you need to know about edible flowers. Number one, not all flowers are edible, so do your homework and find out which ones you can eat. And also make sure that they are herbicide, fungicide, pesticide free. And if they're growing in your own garden, they're going to be pesticide free. I've got pansies here, and pansies taste a little bit like lettuce, believe it or not. And I also have baby carnations, which I love to grow. And the baby carnations are a little peppery, so that's going to add kind of a kick to the salad. So we're going to add those, but I'm going to add just a tiny bit of basil. I don't want to overwhelm the salad. And I'm going to julienne it. And the best way to do that is to gather your leaves. Boy, I'll tell you, my garden loves growing basil. And I'm just gonna roll them up in a tight little cigar, a basil cigar. And then fingers in, and you're just going to shave tiny strips. That is julienning. And that way you get all of the flavor and you don't get a big mouthful of basil, okay? So there we go. Let's build this gorgeous salad. Okay, I'm gonna add my greens from the garden, just like that. I've got a little bit less arugula. Now, arugula it's pretty distinctive. It's a little peppery. Sometimes it's a lot peppery, depending on what batch you get. So you may want to incorporate it into some other greens. I'll add a little bit of those gorgeous mini cukes, the little Persian cucumbers, and some tomatoes. All of these are so good for you, so low calorie. Just a teeny tiny, I think I'm gonna just maybe just shave a tiny bit of sage, just little bit, because I don't want too much, but I do want that earthy flavor in there. And then just a tiny bit, again, of rosemary, just a hint, okay? And then we're gonna top it with some beautiful edible flowers. Isn't that so pretty? Look at that. You don't want too many, just enough to go, wow. That's gorgeous. And then for the dressing, I use Walden Farms vinaigrette, and I love Walden Farms pear and white balsamic vinaigrette. It's just beautiful and springy and summery, and that pear flavor comes through, and I thought with all the beautiful vegetables from my garden, that's gonna be great. So I'm just gonna drizzle. I don't like a lot of dressing in my salad. I really want the flavors of the fresh herbs and veggies to come through. And there you go, a garden fresh, pizzazzy salad right from the ground. And finally today, a fresh, beautiful side. This is grilled asparagus with a lemon rosemary sauce, and boy is it good. So you're going to take a bunch of beautiful asparagus, and I want to show you how to trim them. You don't have to cut them. All you have to do is let the asparagus do its thing, and that means it just snaps on its own. And so just kind of give it a little pressure and it'll snap right where it needs to, and that way you're not eating the bottom woody stemmy part of it. So just like that. And then you'll want to take a vegetable peeler and just kind of trim off the bottom too, because that can be very, very tough. Okay, let me finish these up real quick. Now, what I'm going to do with the asparagus is I'm going to marinate them. And by the way, let me tell you a little bit about the healthy nutritional benefits of asparagus. So asparagus, it actually helps with weight loss, and it helps beat the bloat as well, thanks to the diuretic properties and high fiber content. Asparagus also packed with vitamin A and C and E and K and B6, and it's loaded with iron, copper, calcium, and protein. How about that for a beautiful side, right? Okay, now we're gonna marinate the asparagus. Oh, by the way, you can throw these out, but you can also make asparagus soup. This will make a delicious soup with a little bit of chicken broth, maybe a splash of lemon, whoops. So you can toss it out, put it in your compost pile, or try to build a nice soup out of it. Okay, now we're gonna marinate, and I've got a little bit of lemon juice here. This is the juice of a half a lemon. And I'm gonna add some garlic. 1 clove of fresh minced garlic, a little bit of cayenne pepper, a little bit of salt and pepper. Oh, this is just going to be fantastic. And I'm going to soak it in liquid amino. Liquid amino is one of those miraculous condiments that's just a healthier version of soy sauce. It's a soy sauce alternative. I'm just going to hit it with a little bit more lemon juice right here. And I'm just, with my hands, I'm just going to give it a good toss. I'll probably marinate this for just a few minutes. Actually, I think it's actually pretty coated. So let's just go ahead and put these on a grill plate. And we'll grill these up. And you don't want to overcook them, because then they get real small and stringy. So I just want to give them a nice char. These are just beautiful with that lemon juice, the amino acids. We've got some cayenne pepper, salt and pepper. Beautiful, just beautiful. I think that's all I'm going to be able to fit on there. But that is plenty. All right. I'm going to take it over here to my little new appliance. I love this unit. This is the new version of the air fryer. It's from Cuisinart, and it's not only an air fryer, but it's a toaster and a convection oven and a regular oven and a broiler. So I'm putting the asparagus in there. I'm just going to crank it to about 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. And we will grill away. While the asparagus are grilling, we're gonna make the sauce. And what I'm doing is I'm adding that marinade into a pot. You can definitely reuse the marinade if you're doing veggies. You don't wanna do it, of course, with meats. And then I'm gonna add a half a cup of water and some spices. So I've got a little bit of garlic powder here and a little bit of onion powder. Now I've got the cayenne and the salt and pepper that have been marinated with the asparagus. So we're just gonna bring this to a boil, and then I'm gonna reduce it down, and we'll pour that right over the grilled asparagus. Oh, those look beautiful. Look at that. This took about 6 minutes, and you can see the char marks, you can see the grill, and they're not overcooked. Beautiful. So it's got all that flavor in the marinade, but now I'm going to take that reduced marinade with the garlic and the onion powder, garlic powder, and I'm just going to pour that right over the asparagus. Look at that. Oh my. That's a side, but that's also a meal. Look at that. Yum. So here we go. Lemony shrimp, low-calorie pasta, a beautiful garden salad with edible flowers, and grilled asparagus. You know, there's such a joy in cooking healthy and satisfying meals. And there's just as much joy in knowing that a lot of these foods came from your own backyard. Now that's clean eating the Red Mountain way.